Hi folks, it's Chris in Arena Studio, and what I'm going to do is give you a very basic lesson on how to play with some nice simple melodic lines. We're not looking at playing a million notes per second or anything along those lines. It's literally just trying to play with a bit more emotion over a slow backing track. Now I've knocked the track up for you, and I've actually put it on YouTube, and it's on Spotify if you want to stream it or do whatever you want to do with it, and it's in one of them places up there somewhere, and I'll put a link in the description for you. Now the idea of this is when we tend to play over A minor, most players will look at something along the lines of the A minor pentatonic, and there's nothing wrong with that, but I always feel that taking away the second and the sixth notes from the natural minor scale, which is what we do to give us the A minor pentatonic, I kind of think, why just restrict yourself with 5 notes when you've got an extra 2 that you can kind of throw in there and play around with. So this is what this is all about really, and I'm just going to pick 3 strings that I'm going to work on and just show you how you can create a nice simple melody. So I'm looking at the G string and I'm going to play 4, 5, 7, and then on the B string 5, 6, 8, and then on the E string 5, 7, 8. So if you look at this pentatonic shape that you would get from those 3 strings, you would get but we've now got by adding the second and the 6th notes from the A natural minor scale, which we delete to make it the minor pentatonic. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. Now I feel that the 2 notes that are kind of missing, especially the B note from it, when we take that second note and we add that back in, it just adds a little bit of an extra bit of kind of dissonance, and it makes it sound a little bit more flavoursome is probably the way. So if I put this track on again, like I say, the links are in the description to the track, and I'm just going to play those 3 strings. I might just kind of drift up a little bit, you know, where we've got just on 1 string maybe, just to give me the opportunity to bend and slide a little bit more, which is what all this is about, is trying to put a little bit of feel and emotion into it. So if I just have a little play with that, this could be a train wreck. I'm not quite sure where it's going to go, but we'll see what happens if I put the track back on, okay? So it's a nice slow tempo track for you where you can have a little play around with it, and here we go, focusing on this B. I'm centering everything around this B note again. So get the idea, it's kind of like a repetitive phrase that I'm working on there, and I'm not looking at putting as many notes in as possible. It's fun when you can sometimes, but I'm just looking at something that's going to sound kind of haunting a little bit and emotive, and it kind of moves you a little bit with your expression, and that's what you're going to do. So another thing, I'm going to try and add some simple subtle bends and maybe the odd hammer on and pull off on it this time, and we'll see what kind of emotion that creates when we add this too. Like I say, remember all I'm playing is 4, 5, 7, 5, 6, 8, 5, 7, 8. Okay, so we'll go again and we'll see what happens this time with a few little subtle cheeky bends, as I call them. Could be another train wreck, but we'll see. So see, even with those 9 notes, how you can start to add something that sounds really quite pleasing to my ears. Anyway, it might not be to yours, but again, I'm looking at little kind of little tiny those little pull-ups and see how they're just a very those are the bits that make you a guitar player, that make your style and your uniqueness. Is that even a word, uniqueness? I don't know. It doesn't sound right, but maybe it is. It makes your uniqueness come out, really. You know, it's the subtle bits in your playing and your techniques that add flavour and form to everything as well. And all I did was, when it changed key, I just went up to the... I think that might be a little bit of Pink Floyd in there somewhere. I think the chords are A minor, D minor, E minor, possibly all around there. So I've made the track so it's really nice and simple for you to kind of play over and develop this melodic phrasing. So I'm probably going to go once more and I'll see what happens now, whether I add a few more bends, maybe a couple of little faster flurries of notes, and we'll see how that all pans out, shall we? And we'll see what wrecks on this one. Here we go. Go from the beginning. It's a very good place to start. Neck pickup. Bridge. Whoops. Too busy focusing on my pickups. So again, I just added some legato, or tried to add some legato lines in. I need to warm up before I do any of these videos. And a few staccato little phrases on there, but I'm basically still playing everything around those 3 strings and just moving the notes up and down the strings, maybe playing on 2 strings, 1 string and all that kind of stuff. That kind of squeezes what you can out of any opportunity, any idea that you have that's rattling around there. Improvising to me is one of the most exciting things you can do as a guitar player. Once you understand the concept of your solos, of your scales and your chords of what you're playing over, then the sky's the limit. You know, you can pick fast tracks, slow tracks, blues, rock, metal, anything, and then start to improvise over them, because the beauty of improvising anything melodically is you do not know what is going to come out until you actually start to do it. And that's the fun part of it. You know, it's this creative flow that comes from you as a guitar player. So that's why I just basically kept it around those 9 notes, really, to try and squeeze what I could melodically out of it. It's just basically the A natural minor scale rather than the A minor pentatonic. I've always been like that. When I play anything, I've always kind of played more modally than pentatonically. I like to use all the notes that are at my, if you pardon the pun, at my fingertips. But it's something that you need to look at a lot, you know, and start with a little simple phrase like that. You know, if I ditched the second note, that the B from the A natural minor scale, which I'm focusing a lot of this on, then I'm literally. I just find it personally, I just find it very difficult sometimes to play with a little bit more feel and emotion when I'm just sticking to pentatonic patterns or box shapes. So for me, it's always the scales. And if you want to get into this, I would suggest you look at something like getting this track that's there or there or there or wherever it is now, and just put it on. It's on for about 10 minutes. You can just jam over the top of it. And if you stick around the A natural minor or the A minor pentatonic, things are going to be good. Like I say, I've just focused mainly around the B, the second note of the scale there, 7th fret first string. And you can, you know, I'll put it on one more time and we'll see what I can come up with, just focusing as much as possible on that B note, the 7th fret of the first string, and we'll see what we get now. Bridge pickup. Can't resist it, can you? From time to time, you have to just overkill things, but you get the idea. You know, experiment with a limited amount of notes and try and play as melodically as you can, and let me know how you go. If you do struggle with any of this, I'm sure I'll have a PDF somewhere with all these notes on that I can just maybe email across to you, something like that, if you're struggling, and we'll see what we come up with, shall we? And just think about your melody. You don't have to play scalar patterns up and down, ascending and descending, because you sound like a scale playing guitar player if you do. Pick one note, pick little phrases, pick sentences like I was then, as if, you know, when you talk, you play a little bit, you use long words, short words, words that you kind of link together without taking a breath, then you breathe. Your expression on your guitar should be a similar kind of thing. Think of it as a singer. Think of it as a narration from your fingertips that you're playing and telling a story. And, you know, sometimes when we speak, we kind of go over the same thing. We like that. Then I went we. You know, a little bit of a stammer is kind of what you can do with your playing. You know, use those things, because that would be something like, there's a wee. Ooh. I'm gonna have to go now, I think. So it's not about technical skills, this one today. It's about giving you some very basic tools where you can play over a nice, slow-timed backing track and just try and play with feel. Add a little bit of vibrato, slide into those notes, hammer on, pull off, all these kind of things, and just see what you can do with 2, 3, 4, 5 notes. And you'll be surprised how you can start to add flavour and something that sounds very pleasing and very exciting on your little ears. Okay, so that's about it from me. I've got to get cracking. I've got some mix work to do. I always try and put something on for you every week, so I do appreciate it when you do give me a like or a comment and you watch the videos. It makes my day, as they say. So as always, it's me, Chris, in Arena Recording Studio, saying stay safe, stay well, and keep on rocking in the free world.